today, Willie and I are going to take you guys through like an all levels movement class in the way that I was teaching public classes. So beginner friendly, but try to keep it interesting for anyone. So obviously if anything hurts or doesn't feel right in that kind of uncomfortable way, then don't do it when you're in a public class. The teacher can see you, they can read kind of what's going on and give you tips and pointers, and I can't do that, so I can't see you obviously, so you kind of have to be your own guide in that way, that if something doesn't feel right, then don't try to force yourself into a shape. Not that we're going to do anything extreme, but still. So we're going to start in a seated position. We're going to start cross-legged, and even that sometimes is not comfortable, right? If your hips are really tight, then your knees will kind of lift up and you'll have this tendency to want to round back. If you have something going on with the knees, it's not going to be comfy to sit here. So there's a couple of different things you can do to get started. If you have a little bit of knee pain, sometimes just propping the knee up if you have blocks, that's great. If you don't, you can do something block-like that you might have. So that's an option. Or you can take a block or blankets underneath the seat if the hips are really tight, and that's going to lift you up here, and it'll make it a little easier to sit. Let's give the hips some more space. So we're going to find this cross-legged seat. The sit bones ground down to the floor. Willie is going to go chew some stuff up on the floor and start to kind of feel the legs like a little bit of a weight, so that they're grounding down the body. And then from the torso, we're sitting up really tall, and we have this little lift at the crown of the head. Okay, so legs relax down, sit bones ground down, draw the navel back slightly. Just feel this gentle reaching at the crown of the head, shoulders stay relaxed. Hands to the knees or thighs. Close the eyes if it's comfortable. Just take a big breath in, any way the breath wants to come in. Exhale, let the breath gush out any way, like. And then 2 more times. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale out. 1 more time, big breath in. Exhale out. And then just pause. Let the breath return back to its normal pace. Relax the jaw, eyes stay closed, soft through the lids of the eyes. Enjoy the ambiance of Willie shredding some wood and pine cones underneath her cage. Gently blinking the eyes open. We're going to keep the back flat, bending at the hip crease. Start to turn the chest toward that right knee slightly. Start to lean forward. Okay. Doesn't have to be too far, it's going to be up to you. Chest toward the center, over to the left, and then sitting back upright. Okay, so we're going to make these circles, waking up the hips. Inhale, chest comes to the right knee, through center. Exhale to the left knee, rise up. 2 more. Inhale to the right, center. Exhale, left, rising up. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. Pause, it's seated, switch directions. Inhale, chest toward that left knee, center, right knee, rise up. Inhale, waking up through the hips, legs stay, it's that weight grounding you down. Exhale, rise up. 2 more times. Inhale to the left, back nice and flat. 1 more time, inhaling. Exhale, rise up. And then pause, back and seated, sit bones ground, that lift through the crown of the head. You're going to walk the right hand straight out from your right hip. If you're on a prop, you might just be on the fingertips, which is fine. Okay, that right palm's reaching out from the hip. Reach the left arm over to the left, and then inhale, reach it up. Exhale, we're going to come into a side bend. So we're trying to open this left side of the body just for a moment. leaning over to the right, opening the left side body, chest is squared to the front of your mat. Keep pressing that left sit bone down and the left knee stays weighted down. Stay in the side bend and pull that left shoulder back into the shoulder girdle. So pull that left shoulder back, nice and tight muscles around that left scapula. From there, keep that left arm in the position. The elbow can bend, it's fine. Right ear toward the right shoulder. So just looking for a stretch at the left side of the neck, the upper trap on the left side. Okay. If it feels okay, continue dropping right ear toward right shoulder and just really slowly start to move the head in the no direction. So just stretching out again that left side of the neck, creating some space there, releasing some tension there. Pause where you feel the most sensation, appropriate amount of sensation for you. And then bring the left palm to the right knee. Keep the head just where it is. Left hand drops to the right knee. Left shoulder relaxes completely. Right, engage the belly. Start to bring the head back to neutral. Walk that right hand all the way back up. Left hand's gonna stay to that right knee. Take an inhale here, just lift nice and tall, and then exhale, walk that right hand back behind you, coming into a gentle twist. So we're opening the chest toward that right side, right shoulder's peeling back, and the left shoulder is staying open. So think about flattening the scapula behind you gently. Just let the gaze kind of be anywhere that is comfortable with the neck. One more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, shoulders, chest, and abdomen follow. Hands to knees, lengthen the legs out in front. Just get a break from that seated position. Take the hands back behind you. Legs come to the width of your mat. Let the toes knock in toward one another and then away from one another. Just internal, external rotation of the hips a few times. Breathing. Take that little side bend variation on the other side. So recross the legs. You might cross the opposite shin on top. That was before, so whichever side feels kind of funky. And then let the sit bones ground. Sit up tall, find that tall spine again. Other side, left hand's gonna walk out to the left. Right arm reaches out. Breathe in, reach it up. Exhale, side bend to the left, opening the right side body. Chest stays square to the front of your mat, so you're not dropping that front of the right shoulder down. Right sit bone stays reaching down, right knee weighted. Okay. And then we're gonna drop left ear to left shoulder, retract that right shoulder back. Pulling it back, maybe you soften the elbow. Pause, kind of feel out the stretch there. Right side of the neck, right upper trap. And then maybe you start moving the head just really gently in the no direction. Pause where you feel a nice amount of sensation there. Exhale, right hand to the left knee. Keep the head where it is, let the right shoulder relax completely. And then with intention, draw into the belly, bring the head to center. All the way back up to a seat. Left arm draws back up. Deep breath in, nice and tall here. And then as you exhale, open the chest to the left, taking that twist. Left hand can walk behind you. It can just be a gentle twist. Open the chest. Think about flattening the scapula gently behind you. Again, just keep the neck wherever it's comfortable. Big breath in here. Exhale, look forward. Shoulders, chest, and abdomen follow. Hands come to knees. Lengthen the legs back out in front of you. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs. Heels are scooched away from the sit bones. Inhale, lift up, holding onto the backs of the thighs. Drop the shoulders, lift the chest. You're on the sit bones. Exhale, round back, chin to chest, navel towards spine. Inhale, lift again, open the chest, drop the shoulders back. Exhale, round. Some cat and cow seated. Two more, inhale, lift up, reach with the heart. Exhale, round back, stretching through the upper back, middle back. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lifting up to a seat. We're gonna bend the knees, swing the legs off to one side, and we'll make our way into quadruped or tabletop position. So in tabletop, the shoulders are stacked over the wrists and the hips are stacked over the knees. So just feeling out that shape first, and then pause. Okay. Grip the mat with the fingertips, and just let the wrists kind of feel what it's like to bear some weight, and maybe even coming into a stretch for you. Let the belly go for a moment. Just pause. You can kind of wag the tail a little bit, relax. And then we're going to take a few cat and cows here. So the same two movements of the spine that we just took seated, we're going to take on all fours. So as you inhale, the tail lifts, roll the shoulders back, open the chest forward. And as you exhale, you'll tuck the tail round the spine, middle of the back reaches toward the ceiling, chin toward the chest, let the rib cage draw in. And then again, inhale, come forward, broaden through the collarbones, breathing in, lift the tail. Exhale, round, belly draws in, helping you expel breath. One more time, inhale, come forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, coming to a neutral spine. You're going to take a child's pose. So see how it feels to let the big toes touch. Walk the knees open to the width of the mat. And then send the hips back toward the heels. And let the arms extend forward. So again, you're at home. If you have anything going on with the knees, or the hips might not be open enough, this might not be happening for you, so it's okay. Listen to what's going on in your own body. You can take a modified child's with the arms forward here. Maybe you don't go back as far, or maybe you stay in table. Just 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, letting it be a kind of passive place. Just feeling those moments of reprieve. And we're going to breathe in and walk back up to your table. Bearing weight on the hands again. Knees come back to hip width. Toes point back. We'll come into downward facing dog from here. So you're going to walk the hands forward, about a hand breadth's worth. Curl the toes under. And press the palms into the mat. Start to send the hips back toward the heels. Engage the belly. Lift the knees from the floor. The hips get sent up and then back for downward facing dog. You can leave the knees bent. So if you haven't been here, just leave the knees bent and feel the spine grow really tall. So like from the hip creases, you're pulling back and then up a little bit. Firm through the palms. Sides of the body are long. Good, feet hip width, hands about shoulder width. And then you could play with straightening the legs there, but you don't have to. Sometimes I just like to leave them bent. You might pedal out the feet. If you've been here before, take any kind of movement that you like. Just a couple breaths. Let the weight of the head relax here. So finding some stillness, let the weight of the head relax. If you're really a beginner, you haven't done much yoga before, so your arms might even be getting tired right now. Downward facing dog is not really an easy pose, depending on what you're comparing it to, but there's effort involved to hold yourself here. So if you need to drop to the knees or take a break, just know you're building that strength. If you're staying here just for a moment, draw the chin toward your chest, and then drop the weight of the head. Release. Look forward, inhale. Walk or step the feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, deep bend in the knees, standing forward bend. So bend the knees, let the crown of the head drop down in the direction of the floor. Let the arms soften for a moment. Breathing in, lift up halfway, bring the hands to the shins. Grow the spine tall, tailbone reaches back, crown of the head forward. Pause here and just breathe for a moment. Feeling length of the spine. Shoulders plugged in. Engage the glutes. Inhale, rising all the way up to standing. And just transferring weight back and forth between the legs. Willie's looking at me, wondering why I'm talking to myself. I don't know, Willie. Toes point forward. So feet in mountain pose, they're about hip width. There's different variations, but we'll just take today feet about hip width distance. Make it comfortable. Maybe they want to be a little wider than that. Don't constrict yourself. Neutral pelvis, so the tailbone just gently drops, lightly weighted toward the floor. Arms down by your side. Give yourself a few shoulder rolls here, so shoulders roll forward, up and back. Keeping that length through the cervical spine to the neck. And then pause, reverse directions, back, up, and forward. And then relax, arms down by your sides. You're gonna have the left toes point forward. We're gonna step into standing posture, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So left toes point forward, and we're just gonna take a big step back with the right foot. So about 3 feet between the legs. It's gonna depend on your body proportions, what that distance is. So that right foot, step back. Line up the left heel with the arch of the right foot. Okay, so the right foot is, the right toes are turned in slightly, but you're still pressing the outer blade of that right foot to the mat. So the left heel intersects the right arch. Okay, and then just take the hands to the hips. We're gonna bend the left knee over the ankle. So you wanna stack the knee over the ankle as far as forward and back. So first just kind of feel that out. Sometimes if the knee is kind of like jetting forward toward the toes a lot, it can mean that your legs are too close together, right? And you're trying to bend and it's just, you need a little more space. Not necessarily, but it could mean that. Okay? And if the knee really just doesn't want to go far forward enough over the ankle, so if it's back here, it could mean that you have too much distance between your feet and you're like trying to bend the knee there, but we're just not open enough or the strength isn't there. Okay, so heel to arch, hands to hips, bend the knee, just look from where you are as it's stacked over the ankle, and then we want a little bit of external rotation in the left thigh so that it's over the ankle, meaning to the left and right as well. Okay. Just kind of feel that out. Stack the shoulders over the hips, and then lift the arms out into a T. Warrior 2. Gaze comes off the top of that left hand. Pause for a moment. Shoulders are moving away from the ears, so we're not building tension into the neck and shoulders. So pressing through the outer edge of that right foot. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the arms come down by your sides. Look at that left knee, see if it moved. If you're new here, I'm sure it did. And then straighten that left leg. Pause, let everything go for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And we'll come back into that again. Hands on hips. Bend left knee over the ankle. Okay, feel it out. You might have to scoot your feet around. Maybe they moved a little bit. Feel solid through the lower half of the body. Lengthen through the tail, even here, so the glutes should be engaged in this posture. Shoulders are over the hips. Reach the arms out. Fingertips stretching in the opposite directions. Gazing over the top of that left hand. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, arms drop. Straighten that left leg. Toe heel to walker, step the right foot back up to meet the left. Transfer weight back and forth. So if you've never done these poses before, it's going to take a bunch of repetitions to put even just these few pieces together that we're talking about, just basic alignment. Right toes forward. We're going to move to the other side. Left foot steps back. So take that step back and then feel the alignment here. The right heel intersecting the left arch. Left toes dial in a little bit. So there's a little angle of the back foot. A little pressing through the outer edge of that left foot. Hands to hips. Exhale, bend the right knee over the ankle. And then feel out if you need to scooch closer or further away. Feel that out for yourself. Just looking at the knee, stacked over the ankle as far as forward and back, and then stacked over the ankle. So we have this tendency of it wanting to dip in when we're new here in this pose. So a little extra rotation of that right thigh. Turning on the glutes, a little length through the tail. And then lift the arms with shoulders stacked over hips. Gaze comes off of the top of that right hand. Pause. Still pressing through the outer blade of that left foot. Deep breath in here. Exhale, let the arms drop. Straighten the right leg. Pause, let everything go for a moment. Deep breath. And then moving back into that again. Re-bend the right knee. Right knee over the ankle. Extra rotation of the thigh. Pressing through the outer edge of that left foot. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Lift the arms. Warrior two. Gazing off the top of that right hand. Okay, so lifting tall through the spine. Breathing in deep here. Check on that right knee before you come out. See where it moved and plug that into your muscle memory where we want it to stay. Plug it in and then come out and release. So you'll walker step left foot up to meet the right. Transfer weight back and forth. And then meeting at the top of your mat. Feet hip width. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hands run down the backs of the legs, fold forward. Soften through the knees, standing forward bend, hands come down to the floor. Relax the weight of the head here. Gentle shake in the no direction and the yes direction. Breathe and lift up halfway. Hands to shins. Find a couple breaths in that tall spine. Tail reaches back, crown of the head forward. Shoulders plugged in. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're gonna reach the hands down. We're gonna step the left foot back for a low lunge pose. So we're lower down to the left knee. We wanna keep the right knee over the ankle again. So that same kind of alignment in warrior two. We want it stacked over the ankle and not dipping in or out. So we're bearing weight in that foot evenly. Pause, feel this posture out. Knee in place, feet are about, the right foot and left knee are about hip width, right? So they're not in the same line. Waking up the hip creases, hip flexors. So as. And then if you have block, we're gonna use one. You can use anything else to build the height up. You don't have to use the block if you've been here or you just don't want to, no worries. But block underneath that left hand. So the left hand's under the shoulder to the inside of the right foot. You can take the block at any height, flat, middle, or high. Okay. We're gonna reach the right arm forward as you breathe in. As you exhale, we're gonna reach up. We're gonna open and twist, reach the right arm behind you. And then inhale, bring it back where you came from, reach forward, long spine. Exhale, reach back. 2 more times, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Pause, reaching back this time. Okay, you might bring the right hand to the right thigh, but continue opening the chest toward that right side. This isn't beginner, but if you've been here and you want to take the right hand to the outside of the left foot, you could add in a little different variation of that twist. Gentle with the knee, no worries if it's not happening. One more deep breath in, and then exhale. Release the foot if you had it. Hand comes down, move the block off the mat. Curl left toes under, lift the back knee, step the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Hands about shoulder width, feet about hip width. Hip creases pulling back and up. Maybe the knees are bent. Plug the shoulders in. Shoulders move away from the ears, finding the length of the side bodies. Heads relaxed. So you don't have to be looking forward, just drop the weight of the head. Breathe in, we're gonna come forward to high plank pose. Shoulders are over the wrists. Heels reach back. You can drop to the knees or stay here. Reach the crown of the head forward. Legs are engaged. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, lower the knees down. We're gonna come all the way down to the belly. So you can bend the elbows, let the elbows graze toward the rib cage. And lower down, stack the palms for the forehead. Sway through the hips. And then pause here, take a few big breaths here. Feeling the belly expand toward the floor as you inhale, and then the floor aiding in exhalation, helping to press the breath out. And continue that. This is a great way to strengthen the diaphragm, breathing into the belly toward the floor. Exhale, help the breath out. If you felt like you were deepening the breath, just let it go. Come back to its normal pace. And making sure that the legs they don't have to be zipped together. So they could be even toward the width of your mat. Probably not that wide, but they could be opening toward that. We're gonna reach the tailbone toward the heels. So like you're trying to pick the navel up a little bit from the floor. Feel that action happen. And then inhale, lift the head away from the hands. I'm gonna try to keep that action of the tailbone reaching back. Keep the neck long so you're not jetting the chin forward. Exhale, forehead comes back down to the hands. Keep the action of the low belly. Inhale, lift the head up. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift the head. Exhale, lower. And let everything go. Sway the hips, bend the knees, windshield the shins to the right and left. And let the legs relax back down behind you. This time we're going to keep the forehead to the hands. Reach the tailbone toward the heels. Okay, so pick up the navel a little bit. We're going to inhale. You can either just lift the head again where we were, that was enough, or inhale, lift the head, glue the hands together, lift the arms with the head. Exhale, lower. Keep reaching the tailbone back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Pubic bone presses toward the mat. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. Pause and hold. Exhale, pull the arms into cactus. Inhale, restack the palms, glue forehead to hands. Exhale, lower down. Let everything go. Sway through the hips. Bend the knees, crisscross the shins. And let the legs relax back down behind. Hands come under shoulders, help you up through table and then into maybe the child's pose, right? Where if that's not comfortable for any reason, you can stay in table. You could take a child's pose variation. Just pause, 3 breaths, finding that moment of reprieve again within the practice, within your day. Swing palms forward. Breathe in, come through table. Breathe out, come right into down dog or set yourself up for table again, or for through table for down dog again. If that's a new shape to you, take your time to get there. Hand shoulder width, feet hip width, hip creases blowing back and up. Long side bodies, long spine. Relax the neck and head. And then inhale, we're gonna lead with the right foot and walk the feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, soften the knees, standing forward bend. Inhale, make your way to standing, all the way up to standing. Reach the arms alongside the ears at the top of the breath. Exhale, hands meet and they come to your heart center. Arms come down by your sides. Hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen up nice and tall. Exhale, hands run down the backs of the legs, folding forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, big breath. Exhale, we'll plant the hands. We're gonna step that right foot back. Low lunge on this side, left knee's over the ankle. Pause for a moment, see that the left foot and right knee are in different tracks there. You have your alignment with the left knee stacked. And then we're going to find the block. Place the block to the inside of that right foot, underneath the shoulder, right, at any height. Even if you don't have to use a block, sometimes it really feels great, just different variations here. So planting the palm there, you're not collapsing all your weight on that, but it's just a little build up of the floor toward you. You're gonna reach the left arm forward, breathing in, and then exhale, reach up and back, coming into a twist, so chest opens toward that left thigh. Inhale, bring it back where it came from, reach forward. Exhale, up and back, 2 more times. Inhale, reaching forward, regaining any length you might have lost as you exhale. Reach back, keep the length, open the chest. 1 more time. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reaching back. Pause, reaching back. If that left arm's tired, drop the left hand to the left thigh, but just keep the chest opening. If you like that other variation, again, if it's not happening, don't worry about it. Left hand can grab the outer edge of that right foot. Continue to stay in the twist and open the chest wherever you are. Big breath in. Exhale, release the foot if you had it. Come back to center. Hands come down. Move the block off the mat. Play the hands. Curl the right toes under, lift the knee. Step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Even through those little transitions of stepping the feet forward and back, it takes strength, so don't be discouraged if it feels difficult. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Soften the knees when you get there, if you like. And then breathe in, we're gonna come forward to high plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists, grip the mat with the fingertips. Draw the chin and just tuck it like slightly toward the chest, so you're creating length through the back of the neck. Remember, you can drop to the knees. Reach the heels back if the knees are lifted. Lift the navel, breathe in deep. Exhale, knees drop down, nice and slow, soft to the mat. Inhale here, and then again, we're gonna bend the elbows, so keeping the elbows in close toward the body. Lower down, stack the palms for the forehead, sway through the hips. Forehead relaxes to the backs of the hands. Pause, just a couple breaths here. And then find that little action again. Tailbone reaches toward the heels, navel lifts. The toes are pointing back behind you, so you're on the tops of the feet. Lift the right leg up to a comfortable height. It can just be a little bit. Keep the right leg straight and long. So rather than bending the knee to get more height, keep the leg straight. Keep the navel lifting. Exhale, right leg lowers. Left side. Keep the action low belly, left leg lifts. Keep the leg nice and long. It doesn't have to lift high. It doesn't matter. Just think about the integrity of the pose. Exhale, lower. Let go, sway the hips. And then again, tailbone toward the heels. Inhale, both legs lift. Pubic bone presses toward the mat. Your glutes are working here. Pause. Inhale, maybe lift the head away from the hands. Exhale, lower the head down, legs down. Sway through the hips. One more time, tailbone reaches toward the heels. Lift the navel. Inhale, pick the legs up, point the toes back, long straight legs. Next breath in, head lifts away from the hands. Inhale, sweep the arms into that cactus shape. Exhale, refold arms, everything comes back down. Sway through the hips, you might want to bend the knees and find a counter windshielding or crisscrossing. Legs drop back down behind you. Hands under shoulders, press your way back to child's pose. Or whatever child's pose shape is comfortable for you today. Wherever you can again find these moments of reprieve from effort. There's so much effort in
back bends or work at the back of the body. So much focus. We can't see what's going on there. They're difficult to just engage the muscles correctly in a way that they don't usually work. So release from that space. Breathe in through table. Take your time to come back. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Remember, so even here, we can't really see the whole shape of our body, but think of yourself in that inverted V shape. So like my teacher used to tell us. So that kind of helps, just having that image, the hips pull up and back, and the point of the V. And then from here, breathe in, lead with the left foot. Walk the feet to the front. Breathe out, bend the knees, standing forward bend. Breathing in, engage the legs, come up to standing, reach the arms alongside the ears. Exhale, hands to heart, arms come down by your sides. Transfer weight back and forth between the feet. And we're going to take some standing balance movement. So feet hip width, feeling the weight starting out just even in both of the feet. Taking hands to heart center, neutral through the pelvis. We're going to start to shift weight over to that right foot, so over to the right side, and the left toes become light, and then just come onto the toes or the ball of that left foot or the toes on that left foot for a moment. Try to keep the right hip from reaching out to the right and collapsing over there, so draw the outer right hip in. The belly is that stabilizing space in our balance in a lot of the postures, so just feeling that active, tall through the spine. And then if you feel ready, you can lift the left knee. Just coming into an easy stork with the left toes pointed. They don't have to come into a deep point, but just pointing the toes gently. And then we're gonna take some movement from here. If this is enough, you can stay here, you can tap the toes down and just work on your balance wherever you are. If it feels comfortable, you might straighten the left leg, toes point out and down. You don't have to lift the leg up high for this. We're gonna cross the left shin over the right, the left toes point over to the outside of the right foot, and then lift back to center, lengthen, point out and down, and then bend the left knee, the toes touch to the inside of the right foot. Remember, keep the outer right hip drawing in, keep standing up tall. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross the shin, left toes over to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knee, toes to the inside of the right foot. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring the toes to the inside of the right foot, come to the ball of the left foot. Lift the left heel. If it feels okay, put a little bit of weight over on that left side. Just stretch through the foot in that direction. Release the weight back to the right. Be gentle with this, but come to the toenail side of that left foot. So the top of the big toe might touch the mat. Really be gentle. If that area is tight, you can easily pull things at the top of the foot. So just be easy on yourself. But you might find a stretch there at the top of the foot. Maybe you bring a little bit of weight there. Easy. Okay, so this is all connected. Connects all the way up into even openness in the psoas at the top of the foot. Everything's connected. And then release, circle through the ankle and shake the foot out. Transfer weight back and forth. Roll through the wrists. And then we're gonna go into that on the other side. So start feet hip width, hands to heart. Weight comes over to that left foot. Right knee starts to bend. Right toes can stay on the floor. You can stay here the whole time. Left hip's not reaching out, but drawing in toward the midline. Stand up tall, core is present. Start to maybe lift the toes. Gentle point on the right foot. Extend through the leg, pointing out and down. Cross the right shin over left, right toes come over to that left side. Extend out. Bend the knee, right toes touch to the inside of the left foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross over. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, touch down. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, plant the ball of the right foot to the inside of the left foot. Keep the right heel lifting. You might put a little bit of weight into that right foot. Stretching through the feet and toes there. Send the weight back to the left foot so you can transition, maybe, only if it feels okay, to the top of that right foot. Okay, so the big toe, the toenail sides down. You might add a little weight there, easy, gentle, breathe. And then lift, circle through the ankle, shake through the foot, transfer weight back and forth. And then feet hip width again, we're gonna roll through the wrists. So take the palms away from the chest a little bit, roll to the backs of the hands, and then back to the palms. Just roll through a few times. Switch directions. Good. Hands back to heart, arms back down to your sides. Hands to the hips at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen up tall. Exhale, hands run down the backs of the legs, folding forward, soften the knees, arms relax down, release the weight of the head. Shake yes and no through the head again. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, hands to shins, pulling shoulders in, tailbone reaches back, crown of the head forward. Deep inhale. And then on an exhale, make your way down to your back, any way that's comfortable. You might sit back with the help of your hands. You could come forward to like a table and then swing the legs off. Coming onto the back of the body. And just pause. You could take a full Shavasana pose. We're not done yet, but you might just lay flat here. You could keep the knees bent. Just really comfortable, whatever space you feel, again, the most reprieve. Just pause, close the eyes if it feels okay. Just take some deep breaths and move away from the standing portion. So all of the effort with the standing postures, the focus at balance. So again, I'm not in the classroom with you. I don't know what happened during your little balancing sequence, but if there's any agitation there or intense focus even, just drop away and relax. And then gently blinking the eyes open. And take the knees into the chest. Hugging at the shins or the backs of the thighs. And just rocking back and forth a few times. And then just keep hugging in at that right shin. Let the sole of the left foot come down to the mat. Right knee moves toward the right side rib cage. Circle through that right ankle in both directions. Pause, let that ankle relax, and then you might lengthen through the left leg. You don't have to. Maybe that left heel draws toward the top of your mat. If it feels okay on the back, if there's enough space at the front of the hips. Shoulders stay relaxed toward the floor. And then re-bend that left knee, so the left foot comes back to the mat. Right foot comes down to meet the left. Toe heel the feet to the width of your mat. Let the hands come to the belly. Windshield back and forth with the knees. Knees come to center, toe heel the feet back to hip width. Pull that left knee in, left shin or left thigh. Left knee moves toward the left side rib cage, shoulders stay relaxed. Circle through the left ankle in both directions. And relax that foot. Maybe extend through the right leg. So just offering different variations. It's not happening or it doesn't feel good, no worries. Pressing through the right heel. Breathe. And then bend the right knee, so the right foot comes back to the mat. Release that left foot, hands to belly, toe, heel to feet to the width of the mat. Knees drop to the left and the right. Good. And then draw the knees back into the chest. We're going to make our way up to a seat. You can roll off to one side or come straight up, any way that's comfortable. And then we're going to take a forward bend. So from seated position, we're gonna open the legs out into a V shape. It doesn't have to be a wide straddle. So we're just gonna feel that out for yourself. Again, if you haven't been here, it might be like really, the legs might be really screaming. So just find a V shape and then take the hands back behind you to start. You might be on the fingertips here. Keep the feet flexed and the toes pointing toward the ceiling. So if the toes point in, it kind of brings you away from the stretch of the inner thighs, which is partially what we're looking for here. So just like in Warrior Two, that little external rotation of the thighs. And this is also speaking to this area that we were speaking to in Warrior Two a little differently, but still is continuing that openness and awareness. So pause and just breathe here, tall spine, feet flexed, rotating the thighs open. And you can stay. If you feel a stretch here, just stay right here, right? You might keep the hands behind you and start to reach the chest forward. Keep the spine tall. Okay. And then you might start to reach the hands in front, palms to the floor. Especially if you reach the hands in front, we have to build those patterns into our muscle memory so the toes will want to come in, which isn't necessarily always bad, but just keeping for today that awareness, feet flexed, rotating the thighs out, tall spine. And just breathe, pause. This is actually, you can stay there, but this is a really great place to even take passively with blocks. You can build your props up as high as you like. Just for future, you could bring the forehead here. If you're gonna take it passively, you could let the feet go. Good. And then inhale, start to walk the hands back up toward the body. Take the hands to the backs of the thighs. Help to lift the legs and bring the knees together. Extending the feet back to the front of the mat. We're going to take a few of those cat and cows again where we started. So the heels are away from the sit bones, hands to the backs of the thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, drop the shoulders, sit bones are grounding. Exhale, round back. You'll move behind the sit bones toward the sacrum, chin to chest, shoulders might round forward slightly. Inhale, lift up toward the sit bones, drop the shoulders. Lift, exhale, round. 2 more times, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. 1 more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Pause with the spine rounding, reach the hands forward, and slowly lie the back down onto the mat. Bring the knees in with you. A little rock back and forth to make sure I stay in the camera view. Take a big inhale here. Draw the chin to the chest, forehead toward the knees. And then inhale, relax back down, head to the mat. We're gonna breathe in deep here. And then as you exhale, let the knees drop over to the right side of your mat. Let the left arm splay out to the left, opening the left arm into a T. Right hand can stay to the outside of that left thigh. So coming into spinal twist here, reclined. Chest is opening toward the ceiling. The left arm can extend out or it could stay in that goal pose or cactus shape. The knees don't come all the way to the floor. That's okay. You can even have a prop here. And just pause in your twist. Just letting the gaze, again, just be anywhere that's comfortable for the neck today. Breathe in. Slowly unwind the knees back to center. Hug them in toward the chest. A little rock back and forth. Deep breath in here. Exhale, let the knees come over to your left. Right arm can extend, goalpost or cactus. Left hand to that right thigh. Pause, relax the neck. Chest is opening toward the ceiling. Deep breaths. Inhale, unwind back to center. Hug the knees in. Gentle rock back and forth. And taking the soles of the feet down to the mat. And we're going to come into your final resting pose. So Shavasana is the name of the posture or the shape of the body. And Yoga Nidra is the practice that we'll just go through a really short Yoga Nidra, just bringing awareness to the body. So you're going to lie on your back. Legs might be wider than the hips. They're a comfortable distance away from one another so that the hips can relax, shoulders splayed out to the sides. Okay. And then the arms are a comfortable distance away from the body so that the shoulders can really relax. They're not scrunched up here. They have some space. Take up as much space as the body, like palms facing the ceiling, just trying that out, open. Roll the head just a couple times, just micro movements on the mat, back and forth. Find that perfect space at the center of the back of the head for the weight of the head to rest. Relax the neck. Let the belly go, let the shoulders go. Feel the spine supported. Close the eyes, if it's comfortable. And then just pause, stay here. Continuing to soften and relax the body. And just see first the body is in a safe place. No harm is going to come to the body. And then see the body as healthy. Any effort in the muscles or the breath is gone. Start to shift awareness to the toes, all 10 of the toes on the feet. Awareness to the soles of the feet, inner and outer ankles, relax. Awareness moves to the shins and calves, knees, thighs, hips and pelvis, relax. Awareness moves to belly, rib cage, sternum, collarbones, relax. Shift awareness now to the tips of all 10 of the fingers, center of the palms of your hands, circumference of the wrist, relax. Length of the arms, eyes and points of the elbows, upper arms, shoulders, relax. The release at the sides and the back of the neck, to that space at the base of the skull. Wrapping around to the jawline, unclenching of the teeth, feel a broadening at the roof of the mouth, tongue, lips, relax. Any tension leaving
the brow line. The lids of the eyes close just enough to keep light out. Forehead and crown of the head relax. Continuing to feel the body quiet and soften. Imagine yourself becoming only a witness to the space of the body, just observing sensation. And then taking that concept into our mind as well. So as we lie here just for a minute, maybe two, just observing thoughts as they will continue to rise. And just see the thought, trying not to react to the thought, just noticing. And start to just search for quieter, stiller spaces. Might not happen every day, but just searching for these spaces and knowing that with practice, they will become more and more frequent and longer in duration. So becoming a witness and observing, lying on the back, just enjoying any moments of peace. Keeping the body quiet and keeping the breath passive, just drawing focus back. During that brief time of quiet, just notice the mind just drifted off completely, or just what that time of quiet, what that experience was like for you. Just taking note, noticing that. Search for areas of tension in the body that may have crept in: jaw, eyes, shoulders, feet, hands. Relax the body, and then start to notice the breath again. Notice its passiveness, the way that it moved on its own. Start to bring a little bit of control back there, gradually increasing inhalation and exhalation. Inhale comes in a little deeper. Exhale leaves a little slower. Just a few rounds, increasing breath. Once you feel that that breath space has met the physical body, breathing and opening into the rib cage a little more, start to expand some movement through the rest of the body. So you could wiggle through the fingers and toes, you could circle through the ankles and wrists, roll through the arms and legs, just kind of stretching out, waking up any way that you like. And then we're going to sign our backs. We're just going to bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the width of the mat. Just going to do a brief, just a little bit of breath work to finish. Feet to the width of the mat, knees knock in toward one another. Take the hands to the belly, keep the center of the back of the head resting down to the floor. Just going to do a calming breath here. So we're going to bring the breath into the belly space. We're going to breathe in toward the hands. So you'll feel the hands lift as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you'll feel the belly just soften back toward the floor. So inhale, bringing the breath slow, smooth into the belly. Exhale, softens toward the floor. Just continue that. Do not distend the belly, so don't work hard here. It's really easy. Deepening, smoothing breath into belly, and then letting it soften away from the hands. Continue. Let the face be a guide for tension. If you're clenching the jaw,
or your brow line is shortening, or the eyes are kind of scrunching shut. Relax the face and ease off with the breath a little bit, just really gentle. Inhale, belly toward hands. Exhale, relaxes away from hands. Let go of that breath work, pause, and let the breath be passive. Just noticing how you might feel. It's a great breath to just bring calm, bring that opportunity to calm to you. Don't breathe like Rocky, that's my dog puffing in the background. He's always hot. And then open the eyes, toe heel the feet together. Roll off to the right side. And just pause on the right side body for a moment. Pressing your way up to a seated position, back where we started today. Just briefly, we won't stay. Comfortable seat, tall spine, keeping the eyes closed if you can, hands to knees. Lifting up tall, ground the sit bones. Take a couple of breaths just to arrive back in your seat. Lift hands to heart center, palms touch. Palms just pressing equally toward one another, letting the hemispheres of the brain speak to one another. And just kind of this notion of sealing in the benefits of your practice. Just that's the meaning of the palms pressing for us right now. Taking another breath in together. And then exhaling any way that you, if you practice yoga, if you close your practice, bowing, namaste, or just releasing hands down. All right, so that was just mostly beginner stuff, but mixed in with some other things. So let me know if you guys liked it. It's my first YouTube video, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed Willie chewing stuff up and Rocky huffing in the background.